On Sunday Night Football, the New Orleans Saints shut out Tampa and beat the Buccaneers 9-0. It is the first time Tom Brady has been shut out in 15 years. It has not happened that Tom Brady has not scored a point in an NFL game since 2006. That's wild. Honestly, to me, the highlight of the game was when Tom Brady finally snapped. He was yelling at the Saints sideline. Looked like he had some profanity there. There's a great video where he has one of those tablets and he just smashes it and it's all broken and he throws it to the side and he's angry. New Orleans got him. And as much as Tom Brady is my favorite NFL player of all time. I love the guy. You have to respect the defense New Orleans played on Sunday night, man. Oh my gosh. Seeing a team shut down Tom Brady, frustrate him as much as they did. I respect that a ton. That's great football. And I think that's the reason why that moment, Tom Brady smashing the tablet, is the highlight of the game, because it really does show how much New Orleans pushed him to the edge and got him flustered and frustrated and uncomfortable. They sacked Tom Brady 4 times in this game. They put pressure on him all game long. They hit him. They made him leave the pocket. Tom Brady had 2 turnovers because of him leaving the pocket. He had one where he's trying to run around and run for yards. He got strips that ball got knocked out of his arms by Cameron Jordan. He also had one where he's trying to extend a play, rolling to the right, threw an interception to C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I think that's his actual name. And the Saints defense made Tom Brady uncomfortable every single play of that game on Sunday night. And the key was they did it with only a 4-man rush. Some people might say, what does that mean? It means the Saints didn't need any crazy blitzes to get pressure on Tom. It was just their defensive line getting home every single play. So if you have a 4-man rush getting pressure on the quarterback, it means you can drop 7 guys into coverage. There's only 11 on the field. 11 minus 4 is 7 people in coverage. And so when you're getting pressure on Tom and making him throw the ball quickly, and you don't have to sacrifice extra players leaving coverage to get after the quarterback, that's beautiful football. That's exactly the template to beat Tom Brady. Let's say if you blitz 7 guys, which means that 7 people, what am I saying? Let's say 6. 6 is a better, more clear number. If you blitz 6 people, 5 or 6, let's go with 6 here. If you bring 6 people after the quarterback to blitz Tom Brady, that means only 5 guys drop back in coverage, which gives Tom Brady more favorable matchups on the outside, and he's more likely to beat you throwing the football. But if you can pressure Tom Brady with a 4-man rush and still drop 7 guys into coverage, so you've got safety help on everything, you can double team people, you can double team Rob Gronkowski, and make Tom uncomfortable, so he has to get rid of the ball very quickly and probably throw the ball before he's comfortable and ready. That is the blueprint to beat Tom Brady. That is how the Giants beat Tom Brady in the 2007 Super Bowl. Saints defensive end Cameron Jordan had a really big day. He had 2 sacks. He had his 100th sack of his career. Hey, well done. That's beautiful. He had the play where he knocked the ball out of Tom Brady when he was trying to extend a play. Look, Cameron Jordan was the star of the game, in my opinion. And it's awesome. Like, they really just forced Tom Brady to have a miserable time all game long. And as much as I love Tom Brady, that's amazing. I love watching that, because watching a defense go against the best, in my opinion, and frustrate him, make him confused with where to go with the football, make him uncomfortable. I mean, that's just amazing, amazing defense. And I will say, as the game went on, it did get easier and easier for New Orleans on defense. Tampa lost 3 key players on offense. Chris Godwin tore his ACL. He's done for the year. Mike Evans, star receiver, Leonard Fournette, their running back, and also a receiving threat, hurt their hamstrings. So Tom lost all of his top receivers. Antonio Brown is suspended. Rob Gronkowski was the only guy left. He had kind of a bad game, had a drop or 2. And the guy I felt bad for, aside from Tom Brady not having his best receivers, obviously, Chris Godwin, you got to feel bad for. His contract is up after this year, which means that now he's hurt without a contract for next year. So he's going to make less money next year. And who knows? If I'm him, I'd probably sign a 1-year contract, but that's risky too. I just feel bad. Chris Godwin, it's rough, man. The guy I think might have left Tampa actually to go chase and get more money if he wanted it on another team. And now he's pretty limited. And in a weird way, it helps Tampa probably keep him there. They can probably give him a favorable contract and keep him in Tampa. But that's horrible that Chris Godwin's going to miss out on a lot of money because of an injury. And, um, Chris Collinsworth gets a lot of hate on TV. I thought he actually had kind of almost a brave thing to talk about during the game where he mentioned that we have all these rules to protect players' heads because, that's optically really bad. But one of the things you should do really to protect players is protect their knees, because here's a thing that it's the truth, whether you like it or not. I think a lot of players will take a concussion over a torn ACL. A concussion, you miss one game and you're back in the lineup pretty much. If you tear your ACL, you might lose your entire career. That massively impacts not only your season, but your ability to make money in the future too. And so I think optically and also safety-wise, it's great. The NFL has a lot of rules protecting heads and, avoiding concussions and stuff like that. But I think I would love to see some kind of rule, if at all possible, to protect players' knees and avoid certain kinds of hits because the way Chris Godwin got hit was a way that if you take out your knees, that's the thing that an athlete cares way more about. And Chris Collinsworth, I give him an applause. I thought he was a little bit bold, actually, saying something on the fly in front of a national audience without preparing anything and kind of just doing his best to try to say what he meant. And he even said, I'm going to wait till after the break to do this. But I think he's totally right there. I felt really bad for Chris Godwin watching him get hurt. By the way, there was a wild play on 3rd and 1 where Tampa, who would usually run a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 1, they tried to hand off to the running back instead. And the guards and the center dominated on that play. They were pushing they had a bunch of push up front, and a quarterback sneak would have easily gotten the first down with Tom Brady, nonetheless, who is maybe the best quarterback sneak quarterback of all time. But a defender got pressure off the edge. They tried to turn and hand it off. That took longer, and a defender was able to stuff the run in the backfield. And it was that kind of day for Tampa. Like, stuff went wrong, and anytime Tampa would give an inch or make a slightly bad decision, or if something kind of go wrong, New Orleans would heavily make them pay. New Orleans was dominating on defense with really good play and punishing Tampa for any little mistake they made throughout the game. Okay, let's talk about New Orleans Saints quarterback Taysom Hill very briefly. I don't have a lot to say here. Number one, I want to give a highlight to a moment. There was a play where the Saints had the ball on their own 1-yard line, backed way up in their own territory, and they ran a wild rugby-style quarterback sneak. It was kind of just a scrum. It's the best quarterback sneak I've ever seen, probably in the NFL. They got 5 yards on this quarterback sneak by lining up a bunch of people in the A-gap and just kind of, again, rugby-style, just kind of pushing a pile all closer and getting 5 yards. It was really cool. I haven't seen anything like that in the NFL, and I think that's something people are going to see on film and go, we're going to steal that, because that works really, really well. Now, number two, I want to say something that, and let you know, I feel bad for Saints quarterback Taysom Hill. He's finally getting a shot to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And in that moment, when he's waited for so long, he's got to play with a splint on his hand. He's got a messed up finger, and it's on his throwing hand, which is, that's horrible. I can't imagine that. Like, you finally get the opportunity you're waiting for, and you got to deal with an annoying injury on your throwing hand nonetheless. And you're like, well, I'm not going to sit out. I've been waiting for this moment forever. And there's just, watching Taysom Hill, there's no way the dude is at 100%. I feel bad for the guy. He did have a really nice deep ball to Marquez Callaway, up and over defender. He just had a bunch of touch, really beautiful throw. And Taysom Hill, they won 9-0, 3 field goals. He did enough to win, and I am very, very happy for him.